What is the connection between the ancient pyramidal network, the pyramidal neuronal network inside of our brain and other regions in our body, the mitochondria, the microtubules, frequency, harmonics, energy, and vibration? Well, let me break it down for us. When we talk about the holofractal universe, everything is interconnected through a unified field. That unified field is made of plasma, 99.9999999%, and the rest is cooled plasma at a different gradient of density. So through this etheric field, we are all interconnected. Now what? Geometry is the universal language of Source. Geometries are projected as light with different angles that are creating different frequencies, thus different shapes. So when the geometries are mirroring with one another, when they are symmetrical, when they find points of communion within the very same shape that their structure have, this generates resonance at different levels. The more alike the geometry is, the highest the resonance with one another. Look at it as a pattern. When you have a pattern of behavior that is similar to someone else, there is high resonance between you, directly or indirectly. So if we are generating high resonance through our own geometries, high geometrical resonance through our biotechnology, like our pyramidal neurons, which literally have the shape of a pyramid. And not only that, even the structure that constructs the whole network of that pyramidal neuron is highly resembling the underground structures that have been found recently under the Giza Plateau. Those spherical cylinders, those spiraling cylinders are just like our microtubules that are inside of the neurons. And inside of those microtubules, the mitochondria are. And they are connecting and communicating through frequency. This frequency speaks a language, a trine language, triplets of triplets, terahertz, gigahertz, megahertz, and so forth, behaving in trine groups. These trine groups, guess what? Generate a lot of resonance with the pyramidal structure of our neurons and the pyramidal structure of this ancient network across Earth. So through those holographic geometrical projections, the way that they branch through the space memory network, through the unified field, through this plasmic field, were once communicating with one another at a 9th density. And this 9th density would allow unity consciousness to be. So, if we say that a space arc, a UFO, is capable of responding as one mind with the pilot that doesn't need to be forcefully inside this ship, yet directing it while being located in another coordinate through plasma technology, again transferring its consciousness to the space arc, or even warping its plasma body and projecting it through a holographic vessel, and then densifying enough and lowering the frequency enough for it to come into a material projection, what we would call 3D. The core is a fourth density holographic projection that is going in a lower frequency, that lower frequency enough to play part within the gravitational field that makes us interact in different manners. Some, like these space arcs, going beyond the force of the gravitational field, yet interacting with it. Whereas us are more entangled with that gravitational field. Why? Because we haven't fully harnessed our plasma body. Once we harness our plasma body and become those enlightened beings, we will go beyond the gravitational field. Not because it will stop existing, yet because we have mastered it through our own light, by understanding, by comprehending, and by knowing how to bend our own light through the specific geometries that are required to generate the highest coherence and stability. For instance, the vector equilibrium, which I have talked about in other videos, like the last one. So if you want to take a look at it. So now, what's next? Imagine that you're able, or once the ones that were here in the climax of this ancient pyramidal network being in their own golden age, what we know as Sept, or even prior to that, that this collect would be working as a unified mind, a unified consciousness. So we know that through the pyramidal network, 0-point energy was being generated. So that 0-point energy generated by the pyramidal network would be funneled, would be expanded through a huge, immense, massive toroidal field through different fractals and as a whole toroidal nexus to each one of the minds quantum entangled to the pyramids. Imagine any purpose encoded on the pyramids would be nourished and going through this back and forward as this piezoelectric behavior projecting into the being's minds all the way into, again, the pyramidal network, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So whatever would be encoded, seated in the pyramids to project all the way into the molecular structure of water, into this liquid crystalline lattice, generating high performance and high coherence, and then received by the beings, drank by the beings, and then the beings connected, linked to this unity consciousness, unified consciousness, a 0-point field, they would continue projecting their own consciousness into the pyramids. And then the pyramids expanding their own consciousness from a 9th density, which means unity consciousness. So there would be many technologies taking place at that moment, as spectral spheres, as obelisks, as stone circles, as dolmens, as portals, stargates, arcs, name it. You have it. All of this are showing to us a cosmic nexus. And at some point in that highest peak of the civilizations that were here present on Earth and that were working through their own golden age, that had been harnessed. That was online. That was their reality. Because they were in the highest coherence. They were heaven on earth as it is spoken in the Sept texts. Are we heading that way back again? Well, I invite you, if you're in resonance, of course, to connect to the pyramidal network from a 9th density through a 9th level of consciousness. You're not connecting to the pyramids as how you see them right now if you go to Egypt. You will be connecting to the 9th density form of consciousness of that pyramidal network. You will be tapping into the codes of how was it at that time. To sustain that, to harness that, it's important for you to activate your plasma body. To sustain and harness that level of plasma coherence. So now we will be doing that. That's one of the purposes why we will be going to Egypt. Not only to activate many stargates that need to come back online, to bring in codes regarding to the original sun, to the primordial water lattice, liquid crystalline lattice of water, yet also because we will be restoring, bringing back online the 9th density level of consciousness of the pyramidal network as a preparation for us when we start generating that level of coherence of liquid crystalline lattice within our own body and amplifying our plasma awareness and harnessing our plasma body, reaching enlightenment, then we will be tapping into the highest timeline where that unity consciousness is. It's waiting. It's here. So this is one of the places where we will be accomplishing this. It's a massive mission, so stay tuned for the details of this trip if you're interested. And also at a more individual level, well, individual because I'm also creating online courses like collaborations with Dr. Amir Jahangiri for the plasma body activation, rainbow code activation. We will be doing the next course, so stay tuned. Also with Adriana Mesgova, the upcoming retreat to Hawaii, where we will be harnessing a lot of these foundational aspects and ancient teachings of the divine feminine as this plasma field, how to warp it, how to harness it, how to bend your inner light. Opening the arcs, restoring the arcs to the divine feminine, and also opening up to receive the direction of the divine masculine. I won't go into details about that topic because we will be doing soon, tomorrow actually, a show talking about that, but it's mainly restoring the interconnectivity between the potential energy from a spiritual and of course a scientific way and the kinetic energy, the tachyonic energy, the piezoelectric field, bringing it from a spiritual level, divine feminine, divine masculine, to prepare the arcs to receive the opening of the heart, the great remembering. So, and of course, the upcoming other retreats with the way of being to Damanur, which will be more about the communities of New Earth, yet everything is all very much connected. So whether if you want to do like this epic adventure to Egypt and join us, reactivating, reigniting, restoring at many levels the cosmic nexus, the Stargate network, the arcs, the space arcs, and of course the pyramidal network to its 9th density, then join us. If you're more into going deeper within and falling in love with you, with yourself, and knowing to master your own potential and kinetic energy from the highest teachings, ancient teachings that were very much hidden until now, well, the retreat to Hawaii. And also, if you want to achieve your rainbow body, which is primordial for the next stage of evolution, the online. If you want more to see how to co-create new communities and what's coming up next for the collective stages, evolutive stages of the new earth, then you most likely want to come to Damanhur. If you're looking for creating communities, if you want to be an active, big mind, communing with other big minds, and then not only talking about how to co-create a new earth, yet doing it, then Damanhur is for you. You have the fullest spectrum. The choice is yours. Until next time, thank you, HUNUH.